today's session, as you've seen in the description and the notifications you've got, is how to create your portfolio analysis dashboard, both of foreign stocks and Nigerian stocks. I even also use it for cryptocurrencies. The only thing is the one I'm sharing with you right now does not have the cryptocurrency part. Okay. Sorry. So now you can see my screen. All right. So I'll quickly go through again what I've said. So what I've said is that the template that I've given us is this. That link that I've shared in the. Okay, sorry about that. So that link that I've shared in the comment box, you know, that VIP dot this VIP dot stocks. This is that one that takes you to the template. And like I mentioned, the way you have to use the template is to, if you want to understand it, great, but I'm not going to build it from scratch. So you look at it. If there's any part of it that you don't understand the formula, but I'm going to come back to you. I want to start from the big picture first of all. So I'm going to start from what even is a portfolio, right? So that took me to showing you that this is mine. So I have this very same thing you're looking at. I have customized it to just my own. So the same way you can customize yours by clicking on File, and you see make a copy. Can you see this? Make a copy, right? File, make a copy, and then instantly you're able to customize it to yours. Okay. And any questions there? Okay. All right. So if there are any questions, please. I'm now able to monitor the chat box. Okay. So if you do the file, make a copy, it becomes yours. You can modify it, right? So this is where you go. You had the companies that you have holdings in, US companies. You had them, and you see if you know the ticker, perfect. And if you don't know the ticker, you can go on Google and type the name of the company and get the ticker. Okay, so as you had them, you fill in this information will come by itself. So if I had, so can you give me a company for me to just demonstrate for you that I should add there? The link to the template I've already sent it. Let me just send it again. It's in this chat you are in, this chat conversation. If you scroll up, you will find that there is already a link sent before now. Anyway, I'm sending it again. All right. So if I had a company, let me just pick one of the companies showing up here. You see, the moment you pick the ticker, it's going to automatically generate out the name of the company. So you are meant to naturally fill in, okay, today, you know, maybe today is the 22nd of August. I bought, you know, at the price of plus your cost of purchase, right? Like fees. Better if that way you have a true picture of what your gain is. Okay, so you put in that, you'll find out that the current price is already there. Current price comes from a formula. There is a formula there, Google Finance formula. So that's why I have to use Google Sheets, because currently Google Sheets is the only one that allows me to pull live APIs. Similarly for the company names too, you'll see that there's the Google Finance formula there. So I'm going to, okay. You will notice that there are those formulas across a large chunk of the sheet, right? So you will not be doing much. The only things you'll be doing is you picking whatsoever, let me just highlight here, things you'll be doing. You'll be picking the name of the ticker, you specify the buy date, you specify the price you bought the stock at, specify, this will be automatically done. So those are the only things, and this one, number of shares you bought. So once you fill in those ones, right, others will fill themselves. So you notice I'll have to come here and specify that maybe I bought 100 shares. and instantly you will see it come up. Okay, I hope you can see my screen now. Okay, great. So I'm going to try and up the speed a bit. So these are the only parts that we need to fill. Because I'm doing this on the live one, this is not a very good thing to do. I will have to remove it, but just to let you know, colored in yellow are the fields to fill manually. Maybe I should just leave it out. It might be useful to someone. Okay. All right, every other thing will compute themselves. Okay, so you get the whole pattern. All right, so that's that. For the Nigerian stocks, is similar to you pick the company. So all the Nigerian company tickers are there. You pick the company. Again, these are the parts that you need to. Maybe I should just highlight the header alone. So these, the buy date and the buy price, you are meant to fill. And the number of shares you are meant to fill. What other thing? Every other thing we do themselves. So all these other ones will automatically compute. Okay. These other ones we do by themselves. So only the ones in yellow you are meant to fill. So again, only the fields in yellow. Any questions? Okay. All right. So, and maybe that approach is better too for this. Only that way I don't need to. Where's the no field? I need to wipe out the field. Okay, great. All right. So field. All right. So this is how you are meant to use it. And as for the formula in there, again, I have here. Oh, okay. The company name, I think you might have to fill the company name. I can update that for you anyway. So I will update that. You won't have to manually fill the company name. But you will see here there's a formula in here. There's a formula in here that goes to my API and pulls the live price. So if you have used, it's the same thing that you have in, for those of you who already use the Excel app, you'll find out that it's the very same one that you have in the Excel app. Okay. This one, this Nigeria market data. So it's the same API that feeds it, which if you go to insert and you go to get add-ins, we find it there. So for those of you who maybe want to use it within Excel, you want to create your own portfolio within Excel, though this cannot update automatically, last I have been able to make it to happen with the Google Sheets one. So that's why I have to leave Excel and go pick Google Sheets. But if you want to replicate it in Excel, this is the thing that you will have to use for now. Like I mentioned, it will not update. This one updates every day. So every day I don't need to manually come and change the price. It will always know what the current price is, and it will also always instantly update. So the stories I was saying before that you didn't get is that a portfolio always is set up to contain different asset classes and then follow different timing needs and financial situations. So two different angles to it, components, two main components is that there must be different asset classes and they must be set up to take into cognizance your financial needs and your. Okay, can I explain what the ticker means? So Olusegun is asking, can I explain what the ticker means? I will come back to this. Let me quickly just pop in to explain what the ticker means. The ticker is a symbol. So you don't have to do anything anyway. Just you click on the drop down beside it. And that is what you will use to pick it. You don't have to memorize. Nobody, if you're in Nigerian, you will definitely know what BEGA stands for. Adova. They are the names of the companies So that's what the stock information is tied to. That's what is unique. That's like the unique name. Two companies can have very similar names, but they will never have the same ticker. Similarly to for the US stocks, we see the ticker. So it's a normal thing. You use the ticker to go and get information about the company. So it's a kind of a global standard thing. You don't, that's the one thing that is unique. Companies can have similar names, but no two companies, well, in the same market, you should have the same ticker. So that is the thing you will, it's only for the US companies that you will need to go and Google what the ticker is. But the truth is, if you bought a US company on the stock exchange, it is by the ticker you will buy. There's no way you will pay for it and we don't know the ticker, because that's what the prices are always shown as. If I log into my live account, even though today is Sunday, so the market is not trading, but if I log into my US live account, you will see that it's always displayed by the ticker. If you click on maybe a company, Coca-Cola, can you see the symbol KO? So there's no way you will have bought a share in a company and you will not know the ticker. It's just impossible. So when you are filling this, you will definitely know what the ticker is for the company you are trying to fill in, that you have a share in. Okay. Similarly to for the Nigerian company, if you would even know that one is easier because we don't have so much companies and the names are here. There's no way you will look at this list and not know that this is the company you bought. All right. So clear? All right. So now that I've cleared this question, let me go back to here. So for a portfolio, there's always different asset classes and timing needs, right? And this is my own. So I'm using mine as an example that I have in Nigerian stocks. I have 30% this is my allocation, 30% in my Nigerian stocks, 20% in foreign stocks, 10% in cryptocurrency, 40% in real estate, adds up to 100%. I do not actively have in money market. What I have in money market is what in my emergency fund and maybe money that I'm packing. You know, when you're packing in money you want to use it for something, you're just packing it there. And I have some money that I need to put into the Nigerian stocks, but then because the way the market is, I'm waiting for a direction. I want to see what will happen in some near time before I make a move. Okay, so but some people, money market is a big deal in their own, so they need to have it in their allocation. All right, but for me, this is my own allocation. And I said for the Nigerian stocks, there's no company I have above 10% holding. So no matter how much I feel this company is going to go up, maybe like a lot of people feel Nestle will always keep doing great. Citibank, Zenith Bank, Stanbic has always been doing awesome too, you know, and they feel, oh, since it's going to be doing better than these other companies, why not just put all of your, you know, stocks money in them? Remember, you are trying to have an investment strategy. You are not God. You can never be 100% right. So you want to reduce, there's what we call, when you see the portfolio template, you will see this thing that says portfolio volatility. Diversification helps to reduce your volatility when done right anyway. So you want to have, we'll get there anyway. So all of those things, there's a theory. These things are not just, they are not just feelings. There's a calculation that when you do based on it, you find out that's the reality. That's why investment companies spend a lot of money on analysis tools, on hiring people who even have PhDs, because those things, they are not assumptions. They are not feel-good kind of statements. They are time-tested, actual truths. You know, that if you are going to be managing billions of money for people, you know, there's no way you will just go about it without not putting in those checks. Okay. But for my foreign stocks, I do ETFs, and I've mentioned the reason, so I don't want to bore you down again. I don't have time to follow stocks as well as I can follow Nigerian stocks. There's hundreds of thousands of universe of stocks there. Whether I do ETFs, it might go up and down as much as the individual stocks, but then it's manageable for me to track. And I do cryptocurrency. I understand them quite a bit, and I'm fully convinced that they are here to stay, but I limit myself to these 4 ones. These are the ones that I understand very well, relatively, and I see a huge potential, like staying. The thing that I see against cryptocurrency is that if you pick the wrong one and it goes belly up, but not that the entire crypto market goes belly up, I don't see that happening. Okay, so real estate, I have 40% in that. Okay. So now, how are you going to use all of that, right? So for your stocks is the main one that this template is meant to capture. For those other ones, so if I show you mine, you will see that for the real estate, I have to manually, everything here I have to manually do myself. For the crypto, there is no crypto yet in the template I shared for you because I have to go and edit the formula. You see the formula I'm using for price. The formula I'm using for price here, for current price, this is it. Google Finance, the ticker, the price, right? But when you're doing for crypto, it's a completely different formula. So that's why I'm yet to update the template, just for me to make it such that if it's a crypto, maybe I'll create another column and say, is this a stock or a crypto? So if it's a stock, it will use the right formula that is meant for a stock. And if it is a crypto, it will use the formula that is meant for crypto. So that's why you have not yet seen it. But in any moment from now, I should get it done. So as for the formulas in there, so let's go through them because, like I said, I cannot be telling you from scratch how I did it, like trying to do it from scratch right now, but I can walk you through every single thing I have done. You can be able to recreate them, modify anything you want to modify. So this is me just typing US stocks, that this is to track US stocks. But the truth is you can track even UK stocks, European stocks. It will track them because someone made a complaint about that and I updated the formula behind to even capture any global market stock. So, but for now, I still left the name there because most of the people want to use it for US stocks. And then portfolio value is simply the summation of all of your holdings across all those stocks. So whatsoever you have across all those stocks, you see all this value here. The summation of them is what equals this. So you see, that is what is giving me the value of your. Where is that value? This value here. So that's very straightforward. It's just a summation of the value. And then for the portfolio volatility, it's not a small formula. It's not something that I can explain to you and you will grasp. In fact, for me to do it, I had to take my lecture notes. And one of our assignments in the master's class involved we doing it for some S&P index ETF. And so I had to quickly use that fresh. It took me a lot of time. I even had to get help from one of the genius in our class. So you will see some formulas there like matrix multiplication, transpose, array formula. I can't even explain what I did anymore unless I'm looking at the paper formula again. So, but it calculates at the point I even have to go and ask for help in our Excel community. So we have an Excel community on Telegram. I have to go there and ask for help on how to implement the formula from paper into Excel because Google Finance actually follows Excel formula model. So what it does, it calculates for you what your entire portfolio volatility is. So that's very useful. You always want to pick stocks that reduces your entire portfolio volatility if you have options. If I have option of 2 stocks that have similar performance, I'm going to rather go for the one that will drop down my entire portfolio volatility. So that way I will not have an overall huge downside. It will reduce my downside. Imagine you have a business that is into airline, you have another one in hotels, you now have another one that is into e-commerce, right? And you have another one that is into healthcare. Right now, as there's problem, for you, you might not feel it because why? As the airline and the hotel business has gone down, you'll find out that it is being offset by the sudden spike in e-commerce and e-commerce and which other one I mentioned, and healthcare. So that's if you have put this in this kind of template, you will see that the portfolio volatility will be low, even though the individual volatility of those businesses are high. But because we call it correlation, the directions are not the same. So as one is going up, the other might be staying the same or going down. But they don't all go up and go down the same. And so that way you find out that right now you will not be crying. So think about it too in terms of your own investments too. Even if you are not large enough to have entire companies, own businesses, when you buy shares of company, you you practically own business already, right? So you want to ensure that you're owning businesses that normally should not go all down together or go all up together, right? So the only way you will know that mathematically is if you do this computation, which I've done there already. And then this calculates for you is a simple sum product. Again, the same Excel replica, you know, your gain for each of the different stocks that you hold, because your holding is different shares. So I cannot do ordinary this plus that. I can't do, that's why I have to do like a weighted average. In some product anyway, because the weight of your holdings are different. So this is the only formula that captures the weight, so that just because you gain 100% in a stock that you only own 100 naira in, compared to you gain 20% in another stock that you hold 1 million naira in. If you just go and average it, 100%, 20%, you'll be thinking you have 60% gain. It's a lie, because the truth is that the 20% is on a 1 million naira and the 100% is on a 100 naira. So the only formula that can capture that weight, that size of each of your asset holdings is sum product. Well, not the only formula, but the formula I've used that does that. So that's why you will notice in here it is sum product. Similarly, for the portfolio return, it is that same sum product. Any questions? So no questions, so I carry on. And then you always want to benchmark your performance against the S&P 500, at least for the US stocks. That's why I left this as US stocks. If you are investing in foreign market, well, the S&P 500 should be something you want to beat. So it makes a worthy benchmark, or at least something to judge whether it will have made more sense to buy the entire S&P 500 ETF and just not worry about anything, since it's doing better than yours, or maybe you are doing way better than it. So if you look at this, you see, based on this portfolio return, we are doing a lot better. So this is our active return. Active return is how much better you are doing than the benchmark. Okay. So those investment management companies, sometimes if I show you the ARM, so if I show you ARM, Discovery Fund, you see a where they say that you charge a specific fee above what they use as their own active return. So let me just show you. So there are some houses, if you want to set up an investment house, you want to be like, okay, anything above the benchmark, I'm going to be charging additional fees. Let me see if I can get out that. Sorry, not long ago. Let me just say PDF. Fact sheet. Can you see this? That we are going to charge can you see this? That is in addition to the normal NAV, management fee on the NAV. They said if they can get you 10% return, right? So that means they are benchmarking against 10%. Some other investment body will benchmark against maybe the S&P 500. Some other ones could benchmark against the NSE, if it's Nigeria now, it could be the NSE 30 or whatsoever, right? So they say they're going to charge you 20% of return in excess of 10%, right? So those are some things that people use that for. The moment I saw this, I was no longer very happy with I stopped trying to put more money in it, because, that means the moment the market picks up, they're going to be skimming off from some of my, well, all of them do it. So it's not a case of they are the only ones doing that. Okay. So where was I? So here, great. So active return, that is that. Then if you are someone who is a lot more inclined, technically inclined, you find that there is a Sharpe ratio that you can use to, the higher the Sharpe ratio, the better the investment to fit. So if you are adding more portfolio and you see your Sharpe ratio going up, that is a good thing. And portfolio beta, how your portfolio changes. You will notice that all of these are formulas there, right? I've left the formulas deliberately there so that you can go in there and be able to tweak them. But these ones are standard, so you shouldn't tweak these ones, right? In fact, except you want to do something completely different that you might, maybe you want to remove them, that's what I would say, but not, the formulas are the way they should be. Jensen's alpha, Trainor's ratio. Again, some of these I cannot even fully explain again since the end of that course, you know, the computation, unless I look at the book. But the thing is that they track how well your portfolio is doing, you know, on a relative basis. The higher all of these, except the beta, you don't want the beta to be crazy high. The better your investment holdings. Okay. So any question at this time? So this is for the foreign one. All you do is you go there if you fill it in. Now, for the formulas that are in there, right? So in case you want to use it as a practice to build your own from scratch, right? They are standard formulas. The ones that are a bit different is this one, Google Finance. So there's a Google Finance formula that can pick a company name, and get you some things you want, get you price. There's another one that can get you the PE ratio. So you will notice that those are the formulas that I've been using. That's why I have to use a Google Sheet because of this Google Finance. So that's the only formula that is not, that looks a bit like, okay, this one I need to show you what it does. Every other formula, they are the normal mathematics formula. This times that minus that. You know, that's how you will get what your nominal return is. Nominal return is the, you know, your current value minus your previous buy value all over your buy value. So how much you got. Then for the Nigerian stocks, any questions? So what is the meaning and essence of the beta? Well, beta is an investment term for analyzing the volatility of your particular stock as against the general market. Okay, it's used in CAPM, capital asset pricing. It's a measure of volatility or systemic risk. So again, there's not so much that I can come into 1 hour. Anything you do not understand, you can also Google it, because everything in there, they are super important. They are really things that institutional investors keep a tab of. So if you do not understand them, it's better to try and read up on them so that at least you become a bit more knowledgeable in how you do your own investment also, especially if you are buying stocks right now. Even if you don't think you will buy stocks right now, it's better to be informed so that, you know, those knowledge they add up. One day you will suddenly see that this is not as vague as you've always thought everything is. Okay, so now if we go to the Nigerian stocks, it's a lot even simpler because you just pick the company, type the company name, the date you bought the stock, the buy price, and then this automatically gets for you the price of the company. So let's do for an example. If I say here that I bought, let's pick a company, say maybe I bought First Bank shares, right? Okay, so First Bank PLC. Maybe I bought it, maybe I already have it, so I go and pick the date from maybe I bought it last year, June 2019. So that I bought it at 4 Naira. Then as for current price, so I didn't drag this thing down. I think I should just drag it down. Okay. So you might just have to drag it down. Okay. So for current price and instantly, how many units did you buy? How many units did you buy? So maybe I bought 2,500 units. Instantly it calculates the value. Okay. And instantly you see every other thing doing themselves. So this is the value, how much of your portfolio is in it. So it's showing that 0.35% of your entire shares you bought are in it, and then how much of what again, price and loss. In fact, I need to track this down. Okay. So it computes for you the price gain or loss, and then also nominal return. So you pay 25%, then annualized return. So comparing between when you bought and now, what is the annual return value? Okay. So, and then what is the 52-week low, 52-week high? These ones are automatically gotten for you, and you will see the formulas are there, but I can't explain the formulas to you right here. You will have to reverse engineer it, take what is inside, put it in a different cell, see what the answer that comes out is. So if I take what this is now, and I put it in a different cell, I will see what the result is. You'll be able to understand how the whole thing came up. So it's complaining that something. Okay. I need to put it where it will not go and touch something else. Let me create a new sheet. Any questions? I noticed today is a bit more.
Not necessarily. I don't really have a question like that. So I just want to know I can get the template, please.
Okay, I've given us the link. Are you checking the chat box? You'll see I've posted it twice already now. Okay. So that's it. And I think that's the end of it. Like I mentioned, when I said learn how to create the investment analysis of, because I've created the template, right? You will clean off. So as it is now, when you want to use this, you go to File, you go to make a copy, right? You can call it your name. So my name, Michael, and my portfolio template, because that was what I did for mine. I changed it to a portfolio template. Portfolio means I added everything I have. I added my crypto, I added my real estate, even though my real estate has to be manually adding it. So that's the approach you are supposed to use. So the moment you create it, then what you will do is you come here, all these places that are in yellow, delete the values. Delete the values. Okay, so now you have an empty sheet. Okay, so great. Then similarly, you go here. All the ones that are in yellow, you delete the values. For now, so I think you have to be entering these two. So delete the value, delete the value. Okay, so you're back to empty. Don't worry why this is. Maybe I'll do an if error around it. If you know how to do an if error, you can wrap even an if error around it. I think this one I already wrapped an if error, so that's why it's not showing. So the good thing is that's the benefit of doing a Google Sheet. I can always update it. Even the small changes I made today, they're already showing here. So maybe once in a while you want to check if I've done any update on them. Like before, about 2 weeks ago, there was no Nigerian stocks. I added it. I'm working on crypto. I'll have crypto. If I am able to do something on real estate, we are doing something on real estate for Nigerian market. If I'm able to link it up to real data, I also have that. For bonds, for those of you who do treasury, the problem is the Nigerian stock exchange does not really reflect the reality of what you get. I have the information from the Nigerian stock exchange, but it's not tied to reality. So that's why I didn't include it. But again, as time goes on, as I get clarity to that, I will have that. So in the end, you keep having all the different asset classes. So back to how you are supposed to use it. So you now start, okay? For the Nigerian stocks, maybe I have GT Bank. In fact, if you start typing guarantee, you see it comes up, you pick it, okay? And it's guarantee I will find a way to, if it's possible, to make the name come up automatically too. Okay. Then the buy date, when did you buy it? I bought it maybe on the 12th of April 2020. What was the buy price? Maybe I bought at 20 naira. Okay. What's the current price? Can you see current price has come up by itself? You didn't have to be the one to type that. In fact, if you don't like all this value you are seeing, when you are done, you can manually delete those ones showing value. So how many shares did I buy? Maybe I bought 2,300 shares, right? You see instantly calculates for me the value. So there is the value, current value of those shares. And then this one will do by itself anyway. So maybe for now, maybe I should just do that today since you are all here. I can do that right now. I can wrap an if error around all those cells. Error. Okay, I will do that after because there is no time and I don't want to do a mistake on the last one. So, and all these ones will calculate themselves, right? Okay. Done. Everything is done. So, what other companies do you have shares in? Okay, so I have in Nestle. You see, as I'm typing, it comes up. Nestle Nigeria PLC. I bought it long time ago. I bought it on the 19th of November 2012. Then I bought it at 345 naira. Can you see the current price? How many shares did I buy? That time I didn't have so much money. I bought like 5,000 watts, so I bought like 120 units. Now my 5,000 watts now has gone to 141. Okay, so shows all of that, blah blah, they calculate. What else do I have? I have Dangote Cement. Dangote Cement. Hey, when did I buy it? I bought it on if you don't even remember the date exactly, as long as you remember the formula uses the date to calculate your return correctly so that you will know your annual return in the correct pattern. Okay. So assuming you didn't remember the exact date, try as much as possible to get something close to it so that you will get a much more accurate computation of your return. ₦278 naira. See, that's lost value. So I bought maybe like 1,000 shares. My value has gone down. So maybe these are the holdings I have. I can delete all these ones. So as you go on, you will have them. You can always drag down. You see that everything computes very well. I will update why that is showing value later on after the session. So that's how I will do for the Nigerian stock. If you want to add your foreign stocks similar, so maybe you have in Microsoft, pick it. And this one I've already done in such a way that the moment you pick it, the name will come up. When did you buy it? I bought it on the 10th, on the 11th of February 2019. I bought at that time it was really selling around 120 something actually. The stocks has kind of doubled in the last 1 year. And then how many shares did I buy? I bought say 100. Maybe I bought 50 because okay. So instantly you see it computes, right? You're able to see your gain, your profit, and which other things did I buy? So maybe I also have in Tesla, and that's the one getting all the attention now. So the name is going to even come up. Maybe I was even lucky I bought it around that same day because I had some money that day that I put into many different shares. So that time Tesla was really selling at about 178. Currently it's now 2,000 something. So again, how many did I buy? Maybe I bought 20. Right. So you see how it does the chart, it does all of those computations for you, it does signal and all of that instantly. So this is how you are meant to use it. And then if you now want to add your other ones, so like for me now, I added my crypto. For now, you cannot until I add that component. So maybe I'll add it as I'll think about it anyway. Then if you want to add your real estate, that one is a lot more straightforward. The property, the buy date, the buy price, the current price, and you just copy the formula for the calculations. What other things did I add? So it's only the real estate that I know that you will add manually if you have. So for you, if you have other types of assets that they are not on the market for, that you can't get the market price for, you have to manually add. Then at the end, you will now have your own portfolio allocation where you can see your variance, how much you have in those different asset classes. Then what is your target allocation? How are you deviating from it? Then what is the amount that is the shortfall? So like right now, I know that I am overweight in real estate. I need to put more in my US stock market. I need to also put a lot more, like almost 3 million in Nigeria. I want to bring it back to balance. And then I need to put about 600 and something in crypto. So this would be like, I need to put like $850 for the US one to be up to my target. I need to add like $1,300 to the crypto. Nigerian one, I need to add like 3 million. And then automatically, I think this, again, need to start adjusting anyway. So this allows me to know how to allocate my investment. Okay, so we have come to the end. Any questions before I wrap it up for this session? I will try to also post the recording. I've not yet posted the recording of 2 weeks back. I've downloaded them. It's just to edit them. Not easy because the editing, you have to almost like, though I try not to watch everything, but it takes almost as much time as you doing the session. So every week that we have like 3 hours every week session, I still have to look for some 6 hours to use. And that's after spending some hours to download. Download is also not easy. So that's why it's just been, that editing has been a problem. If I can get someone to help me with the editing, I'll be able to post on time faster. But I will definitely post them because I've downloaded them and all of that. So any questions? Please share this for investment. Initially does not have the real estate. Yeah, that one is my own personal one. So the way I'm showing you how you can personalize it. So I have personalized that same template. So now I have one that holds my own. So this one is my own. It's not, I can't give you my own. Before you guys know that I don't have so much fun. But I'm just trying to show you how I personalize it. Okay, so that's why I give the original template I'm sharing, not my own personalized one. Okay, what other questions? Okay, so thank you very, very much. Yes, someone wants to do something. I thought someone wanted to say something. Okay, so it's already past 3, and this is where we draw the curtain.
Good.
All right.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Yeah, so if I have maybe a Reuters terminal, I can link the sheet to the values, right?
I can't see. I know for Bloomberg terminal.
Sorry, you said?
I'm from something the sweet application went the wrong direction in my throat. For Reuters, I don't know. Because for Bloomberg, I've done a project for a company. I once worked for a Canadian hedge fund. Just I can't show you the real work, but Bloomberg has Excel API. So we were using the Excel API. So the Bloomberg APIs were like BLP, they had their own formulas that I will now pick. And it was really awesome because we were using it to get these, volatility index, population. You could get everything on your Bloomberg terminal. We could pull them using formulas directly into Excel. So we're using that to create like risk analysis. We call it return driver model. So we're using it to see how does population, in fact, at a point we started doing something to track Trump. So the Bloomberg created a ticker for an index for Trump. So they call it like Trump factor or something. So we're using it to see how it affects the market, how it affects all the markets this particular hedge fund had exposure to. But the thing is that Bloomberg gave us a formula access to their API. I don't know if Reuters have that. I know Bloomberg has, but I don't know for Reuters.
Okay, so my task now is to check and see if they have, and if they have, I can do something of that sort.
Yes, you can be able to pull all those things you see on the terminal, on your Reuters, whatever internal stuff they give you. You can be able to pull all those information and directly put them into your Excel. Like we did that one with Excel, so it was put directly into Excel.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the class.
You're welcome. I can see someone's hand is up. Imosili Ojo. Please fire on. You raise your hands up. Any question? What is it you want to say? Okay. So join the main community. Okay. Also, if you just talk, you don't need to raise your hand. If you want to say something, just say it. Like I said, it's not. There's no strict rule.
I still can't get the sheet. Like I can't get the link on the chat. I don't know if you can repost it or something.
Okay, I will now. This is the link. Okay, so can you check now? I've reposted it. Then if I showed one on Excel in case if that one is not live. It cannot change itself every day. You will have to be the one that will manually be changing it every day. So that's why I could not use that. But if you are the kind of person that works in Excel, and all of these are things that you find useful, you can always also use this, especially if you work with things that relate to exchange rates. You see what the exchange rate is and all of these information. You can even be like, what was the exchange rate at a particular year in the past or date in the past, maybe February 19. Yeah, February 19. And you say, what was the exchange rate that period? So if you like all this kind of information that are in here, not necessarily this live dashboard I'm doing, you can always go to insert in your Excel, go to get headings, and then just type Nigeria in stock. So that one also has the stocks one. But remember, as I said, the stocks ones are not live updated. When I say live updated, they are live, but they don't, just you opening Excel does not update them. You have to go back and click the button. So that's the difference between that one and the. So I'm going to drop the link for that one too, because I've come across a lot of people saying, and so I've always had it and I didn't tell them that we've always been needing something like that. So I'm going to drop this also in the chat box. So that way, whatever free stuff we have, at least Nigeria, we are trying to, there are a couple of us in different corners trying to do some of those things we see other countries have already. Okay. So at this juncture, I have to go and prepare for the Excel one. So thank you very, very much. I will try to, thank God my workload is reducing, so I will try and get all the recordings out as soon as possible. But the good thing is we have the recording, and this one I have to even edit out the part that you are not seeing my screen. So I have to find a way around that so that that one doesn't distract people who watch the recording. So thank you. See you again next week. As usual, if you join the community, you will always, after the community link, you will always be in the loop of reminders. And even when with the recordings I have, we'll email them to that link. If you want to watch the past sessions, let me post the link for the past sessions. So the past
Thank you very much.
Thank you too. So the past sessions, you can go to this YouTube channel and let me just paste that. Apologies for you not seeing my screen at the beginning. So thank you very much, and see you again next week. Ciao. Bye.